All right, we're back with the Musette and the tiny reeds that we made. We're not quite there yet. I'm going to take the bell off, and that's literally how this goes together. It doesn't go together like this. You have to pull it through, which is interesting. I'm going to put that to the side. It's just a piece of tin. It's not really fancy at all. The real Musettes are made probably out of a beautiful hardwood and a brass handmade bell that might be gold-plated and very ornate. But this is literally a student instrument. That's what she told me when my friend Laura Ng got it for me in China. She went to a music store, and these are for students. So this is kind of like a student musette. And we have our bocal here. And the biggest issue we're going to have is attaching the mouthpiece. As you see, it goes on pretty far to be flush, but it brings the tube all the way through. I really want it to be like here. The other issue we're going to have is because this has a hole in it, because it's really just a keychain, whatever buildup we're going to put on here to seat the mouthpiece on is going to have to be flat enough so that we get a real seal here. If I just put some tape and it's conical like this, when this goes on, we're still going to have an air leak possible. So we've just got to think about that. I think I'm going to use this blue painter's tape. This is basically for, doing masking off when you're painting your ceiling or floor. And I'm going to use this in little tiny strips, and I'm going to start out here in little strips to try and build up first so that I can get more of a flat area for the mouthpiece rather than so conical as this is. And who knows if this is going to work, how it's going to play. This is such a small opening. I really don't know what's going to happen. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was the actual reeds that this used. And that was these things. They came kind of wrapped. As you can see, they come wired up. These are double reed, and none of these worked. I kept them just to keep them, but I found 0 of these to actually work at all. Now, that doesn't mean that they wouldn't work eventually, and maybe, like oboe and bassoon, maybe you have to soak them and then work on them. Maybe you have to file them. But if this is a student instrument, that's what she was told, it's hard to imagine that a part of you would have little students working on reeds. So I don't really know. All I know is I put all of these in the water and not one of them played. At least not for how much air I was able to blow into it. And then the other thing that was funny was it also came with 2 little ones that were, they were the same size as they were plastic, and they had stripes. They looked like they were pieces of a plastic straw. It was really trip. And they actually played they were very soft. They didn't work very well. I thought I had kept those also, but they're gone. And I think I have these 2 that were set aside. Maybe these 2 were pretty still good. These look a little different than the other ones. If you look at these are smaller. They're not quite as long. So I don't know what the deal was with that, really. I just know that none of it ever worked. Not to the point where you'd want to get into really playing the instrument. So that's where we are today. So I'm going to cut some strips of paper, and we're going to start seeing if we can get the mouthpiece on here fairly stable. We'll see. And the hard part will be keeping you on camera, but I think we can do it. Okay. Now, I do want to move that up. There you go. Nice even strips. I like those. Again, my plan was to just start out here, start building it up. Again, you see we're going longer, even a little longer. And we're going to keep starting here. And well, maybe I'll move one down. And we just try to avoid lumps or ripples so that we get a very smooth surface. Getting a little, see, we got a little bit of a crease there. We don't want that. We want to keep this flat. How are we feeling now? See if we could get this to seat right there and feel good right about there, then we would have something. And we might have to adjust this. I'm hoping to find it flexible a little bit to tune in and out. I mean, it might be a lot to ask, but, you know, we'll try. See, what I'm finding now, the mistake I made is I'm cutting these different lengths, but I'm putting it on in the direction that it spun off of the rolls, so I'm actually not getting different lengths, and I'm not entirely happy with this last layer. So I'm going to take it off. I'm going to start over with that last layer because it ended up not quite the way I wanted it. And we might end up redoing all of this anyway. Years ago, I had a friend who played bassoon, and she gave me some old bassoon reeds, and I used them on alto. How would you do that? Well, I used a Bic pen that I built up with notebook paper so that it would go inside the neck of the alto, and then I basically shaved up the Bic pen so that it would fit the the bassoon reeds, and that was your setup. And it was bizarre. It made really weird sounds, and that was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? All right, see that now that almost sits by itself on there. And as you can see, it's not too close up. We got a little room here. All right, we'll get a few more pieces. Let's do a few more, see if we can get it snug. If it gets too thick and you have to push hard on it, then it's going to move. This is just tape after all. So we want to manage our expectations of what it'll actually do for us. Okay. Look at that. I think we have our thickness that we're looking for. Mouthpiece goes on. Oh, okay, so the vocal actually comes out. So the tape didn't move, but this little thing does. I forgot that. What I don't know about this thing. So we got our mouthpiece on about yay far, and that would line up with our hand. So there you go. We got our mouthpiece on here. So the next thing will be to try a few reeds. For now, I'm just going to use... I had an idea, actually, about how to make a ligature for this out of wire. Not sure if it'll stay tight. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to number all the reeds we made and throw them all in the water. And let's see if we get any sound out of this weird thing. All right, there you go. All right, so here's my idea for ligature. Just a piece of copper wire. And I don't think I cut enough here. Maybe, because it's a pretty small little thing there. But I was thinking if I double it up like this... Okay, get them fairly straight. And then this is where the reed will go. Okay, and the sides will come up and be close together, and then I can twist it like that to tighten it. Not sure how that's going to go, and we'll see. So I'm going to bend this tight down here. So that's going to be my part of my tightening area. The two outsides will be. Seems like to be a little sharp, but we can address that also. So here we go. Now we've got close to the thickness that I'm hoping for. And we sort of play. Let's grab the mouthpiece off of the weird instrument. And there it is. So what we want to do is we want to... Of course, all these reeds ended up a little bit of a different thickness. Because we don't really know what we're doing anyway. So, put this on here and wrap this around. See if it goes far enough around the mouthpiece that we can tighten it. Okay, trying to make a flatter area for the reed. I also thought these could spread out a tiny bit like a ligature would. Like this, right? And then bring them back together like this. So now you've got a little stretch on it. Not sure how necessary that was. And we can always try this a few times as needed, right? But there you go. Yeah, they're a little close together. But, or too close, too far apart. But now my hope was that these will just twist together. Let's see if we can get up there to that point. I might need them to be a little longer. Yeah, there's not enough room exactly. Let's see. Let's keep trying. No reason to give up just yet. Okay, see, this is what I was talking about. Tie a little bow, and maybe it'll hold the reed on. Something like that. Seems like it's going to move a little too much. Yeah, it's pretty loosey-goosey here. I'm going to keep messing with it, but that's the plan. I don't know if that's going to work. I was also thinking about a automotive hose clamp type situation, which might work. You can always just tape the thing on or use a rubber band. Rubber band might be our real only hope. We'll find out. I'm going to keep messing with that. We'll be back. Here's what I ended up for the ligature. As long as I pull it back onto the mouthpiece, it's pretty tight. It's actually not great, but we'll see. You know, because like I said, it's pretty tight on there. The reed doesn't really want to move too much. I mean, it still wants to move, but that might be enough to get us started, at least testing and seeing what happens. So I'm going to drop all these reeds in the water. I'm going to see what happens then. All right, hi guys. We're here with the Musette project. I guess we'll put the bell on just to get the full experience. And that's literally how you do that. It doesn't seem to really seal up in any way. You know, yeah. What's weird because then you can't put it down like this because it just comes out. It's strange. But it's, you know, I'm sure that's probably a good idea. You can throw it in if you're a kid, and that's what I was told these were for kids. Then you just throw it in your backpack, right? All right, so this is reed number 1 that I made for this. And the first 2 are probably not going to work at all. Who knows? I'm using my little copper wire ligature I made. Oh, well, that's the first one I made, but it seems to hold it. Okay. Let's see if we get any sound. Nothing out of that one. Just air. Let's find number 2. Number 2 I think was even worse. Number 2 doesn't even close to line up with the tip rail. Oh, that didn't quite work. Let me try the other one I made. The other one I made is a little more accurate. There we go. Let's see if this will vibrate at all. Nothing. Nothing. All right, that was 1 and 2. Let's see if we could find number 3. Here's number 3, a little wider at the end. Maybe this will work. Something. We got something. We got noise. We're making noise. All right, that was number 3. And as this went along, I was trying to make the reeds to fit the mouthpiece better, so maybe as we go. Also, as we went in, I started working on the sides of the reeds to work on the strength of the way they are shaded. So as I went along, I started to put a little more attention to what a reed is supposed to be like. Let's see if that stays on. And it's it looks like a reed. I mean, you know. Well, that moved immediately. Okay, that didn't stay at all. It's really hard to tighten. Ah, man. I have to make a few of these ligatures because that's not working. Okay, hopefully this stays. We're definitely getting reed-related vibration. Number 5 it is. Let's try this should be number 5. Let's try this one. Obviously, we're not getting much in the way of pitch change. So, who knows if this is going to sound reasonably decent to use. But, you know, it's a noise anyway. You're just going for noise sounds, so we don't have to worry that much. It doesn't all have to come out in the wash. Note that thinks it is. Try another reed, huh? That was 5. And at this point, I'm starting to pay closer attention to what a reed really looks like and how they should be shaped. So maybe 6, 7, and 8 will actually be pretty nice. We're not really getting different pitches out of this. I'm kind of getting like sort of one sound, and the openings don't really change the note very much. Which maybe is the way these just are, and it has nothing to do with our weird mouthpiece thing that we're trying. It's likely. So let's see if that reed will stay put and make a sound for us. Number 6. This one, not so much. We also don't know if these were any good as soprano reeds before we cut them up. We don't really know anything like that. try 7. 7 looks not great. Got a little broken part of the tip here. Seven's pretty wide at the end. Let's see if it'll hold up. Yeah, this is too wide. The last 2, I really went overzealous with the size of these. Oh, crap. Well, at least we know all the parts come apart. I didn't want that to happen, but that's what happened. Okay, so we're still lined up. It's lined up to the tip pretty well. Let's see if this one, this is number 7. I really wish this didn't move around. That doesn't move at all. So that's not vibrating at all. Whoa. Okay, no dice on that one. That one needs more work. Let's see about number 8. This, at least I can tell, was an older reed. Did a little extra finish work at the tip. So that number 7 was really rough. That one didn't really do anything. Let's see if this one does a little better. Number 8. Number 8. Yeah, I don't know, man. So, yeah. Number 5 seemed to be the best one. No idea why, you know, or what that means, but... Well, there you go. So we got a lot of work to do. Let's go back to that number 5. So number 5 seems to be the closest. No idea why. None. But what I'll do is on some of the ones that really didn't seem to play, I'll take more material off them and see if making them a little softer here on the strength ends and also at the tip, see if makes them vibrate a little better. I wasn't paying that close attention to what I was doing. But nonetheless, I really didn't think any of that was going to work. So, interesting. It kind of works. Go Sios, apparently. Bloody hell. So we do need to go with a better system for ligature, but that works for now. And we'll try and get some of these other reeds so that they work the way this one does. No idea why it works, but that one seems to work pretty well on here. And worst case scenario, the gig is Saturday. I'm not going to practice this. This isn't something you practice. I'm not going to do major. I'm not going to do all the scales and all 12 keys on this thing. So it don't really matter that much anyway. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Student Chinese Musette, Sios keychain, half of a soprano reed. And there you go. A little baling wire, and you got yourself a weird setup. I'm going to have to be careful with this. I got to turn this. This is very sharp. So I need to pay attention to the edges of this stuff when I make the next one of these. I'll probably make a few attempts at this ligature. I will also try rubber band, but that's a lot of work. So there you go. Thanks, guys, for watching on this Musette. I'll do more. Well, I'm going to work on these reeds, and we'll come back and we'll try it all again. Thanks. This is a long video. These are long. I make long videos, guys. I don't know what to tell you. It just is what it is. So thanks for watching. There's no way to make this a shorter video. And let me know what you think of this weird little project. Musette. Free music. Get weird. All right. See you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Andy Volker, the saxophone and thing geek. And we'll see you next time.